Allow me to present one working window. Looks good. Slow, but it works. And now for the passenger one. Yep, that's had it. So yes, welcome back to yet another problem with Scarlets, and as you can see, the passenger side window regulator is no longer functioning, and that's probably because of a little bush that sits in here that went clang, and that was the end of that. So we need to fit a new regulator, and in order to do that I'm going to need one of these, which is a window regulator, of course, complete with its motor, which needs to fit in there. And we need some new Delrin door bushings, one for this side and one for the drivers as well, because, well, when in Rome you might as well do it. And I'm going to need this grease, or grease, which is what people use on Hondas. We don't mention the S2000 here. So let's get on with it, and we need to start by removing the door card with a little bit of editing trickery. Et voila! There you are, one completely removed door card, and as you can see, yes, Scarlet has two-tone inside of doors. That's very uncommon and a rarity of these cars, so, you know, every cloud and all that. So here's the deal. What we need to get to and remove is this channel here, which runs right down the spine. We also need to remove these bolts here to get the old motor out, and somewhere in there will be what I imagine is the correct thing that would do the electronics. But I don't know where that is. We'll find it though. And we also need to get the window out, which as you can see is moving completely freely, and that's because this is what happened. Look at that. Nice and rusted cable, which is what normally powers the motor. And as you can see, it's split in two. So, first job, we need to remove the window. And in order to do that, the first job is to get deep inside the door here to remove these three screws. Now, luckily, as luck would have it, because the window pane is, you know, no longer supported by anything, I can move it to whatever I like to get the job done. Make life a wee bit easier. So we need to remove these three to take off of the runner, and then we need to remove these two here to get the stoppers out, and then we can remove the window. So let's get started. We need a, is it a 10? The 10 mil? It's always a 10 mil, surely, isn't it? Yep, it's a 10. And this is going to need a fair old bit of finessing to get this right, along with getting this on here right. I'm not for a minute suggesting this is the right way to do this, by the way. I watched one or two videos on YouTube of how to do this, and then I just thought, you know what, sod it, I'm just going to go and have at it and we'll see how we get on. As I say about any video I do, this is not really a slick presentation of how to do something. It's more a suggestion of, this is what I did, you might want to try something else. Right, there we go, 1, 2... 2. Where did I put the third one? We've got 1, 2, 3 for the new one. So now we need to get these 2 out, which I believe are also 10s. These are spacers in here that hold the door. Spacers in here that actually hold you from being able to get the window out. Because basically all that will do is that will just stop that from coming out, which we need to get out. So it comes pretty easily. I doubt very much this has been done before. That's one. Look at that. So that just sits inside the door there and stops it. Basically that. And the other one. Oh, come on. Now it's just a case of lifting it out, I believe, and seeing how filthy it is. Ah, there we go. One window. Ooh. Right there, that is what exploded. And I have to be completely honest, I've no idea. Ah, so it's a star. Should have a tool for that, I hope, to replace with the Delrin. I think this glass is going to need a clean. We'll get to that later. So with that out of the way, I'm now clear to get this under here all removed, and then that should, in theory, I'm going to put a longer bit on that. It should be us ready to go. To get this motor out, we need to also remove the pillar support, which is a bit of a faff. I don't want to remove it all the way if I can avoid it. And that is out, but for some reason so that's out. God, a joke at the state of that. Right, there we are. 3 hours later, one fooked thing. And it doesn't look even remotely the same as the one that I've removed, which is a bit of a worry, because that's not right, is it? back in a minute. Right, we're back. Now, this one looks slightly different to the old one because it is an aftermarket part, so it's not going to be identical. However, the old one was held on with these two screws and those two down the bottom. But the new one, because it's lighter and newer, looks like it only needs one in the bottom and one in the top, which will probably be going through here by the looks of it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see in a minute, but first we've got to take this other runner out, which is the one that got stuck originally. So another bolt underneath the cart and one on the top, and then clean it out, get it lubed up and put back in, and then the fun can begin with the reinstallation. Speed this bit up. Ooh yeah, that's bone dry in there. There you are. I wonder if there's any of the bit left in here. Nah, nothing. Didn't think so. Right, I'm going to give this a good clean. Be back in a minute. Go. Right, now we get our grease. Apparently you don't actually need to use a lot of this stuff, just a gentle bit. So let's get rubbered up. Put some in. A little goes a long way, and this stuff, by the way, this is the Shin Etsu grease. You don't want to know how much it cost me for this, but you know, a little goes a long way. Let's find out. There we go. That one in. I'm not going to fully tighten these yet because we need to find out if this actually works, and it'll probably need a wee bit of jiggery pokery. Oh, come on. Right, so that's that one in. Now, the fun part. First things first, it's already been greased, but I'm going to put an extra wee dollop or two in the rail because it's better than whatever crap was put on it. Oh, the hard part. Getting this back in. Oh, no. Right. In theory, this bit should go in easy, and this bit's the difficult part. So if I can shoehorn this in, right, that's in. Good. Now, make sure I haven't crossed the wires. Nope, that's fine. And then this lines up there. Right? Am I right? That's there. So that would go in there. This goes through, back in with another bit jiggery pokery. That fits Right, so I discovered a quick snag. This bracket obviously was predetermined to be the right size in here. This new one, however, is adjustable. So in order to get this to fit in, we need to be able to move this one and then tighten it up once it's in. What a faff! I'll show you, look. See, the problem we have is down here, that one lines up, but then the next one doesn't. And that's supposed to actually go into that hole and one up into that hole. Aftermarket parts. It's a doddle, it really is. Right. So, this bit. Where is it? Right. I need a screw. A nut. I need a nut. A nut. Right, so one nut there. I imagine this is alright. 6 of 1 really, isn't it? That in there. That in there. Right, so that's in the right place. That's not in the right place, but it shouldn't matter because there's holes are plentiful in Scarlet's door. And then we just put this back together, which is, yes, some way. That one is meant to go in there, spade, and then that one goes in there, like so. And then you can just clip these up to it. There and there, get that out the road, put this back in its place. Right, so that's the motor in, hooked up. I'm not going to lie, this is turning into a bit of a stramash. So this one goes down, back into the door, which is supposed to go through the bottom of the door, here, right, that's through, but, it does work. I'll admit, I was worried. I was very worried. It's only actually held on with one screw, not two, so. As you can see here, there you are. Stroof. That had me worried. And that goes in there. Smaller screw to go back on it. That's what I love about this car. When you're putting stuff back on, you're basically lightening it one bolt at a time. That's my theory. I think, to be totally honest, we really need to put the proper washer back on here. We don't have one. Yeah, sort it. like I did the last time, I'm not going completely tight because I don't want it to be, you know, I want it to still have a bit of play if it needs it. That's the 14th under there. Alrighty, that's in, that's in. Let's clean up the window. I know that some people will say this bit's pointless, but, well, you know, if you're going to do a job, at least half-arse it. Probably about 20 years worth of Japanese dirt on this car. As I was saying, there's probably about 20 years of Japanese dirt on this car, and that's a little bit too close to China for my liking. Even as a joke, can't we? Right then, now for the reason that we're all here. This damn thing. And I really hope that it will come out. So this is the bit that sits inside the door that runs up and down it, that bit there. And we need to get that out, keeping that in the right order. Washer, and then the gold bit. And we do have the new Delrin bushes here. And that is basically the bit that has disintegrated and gone that sat there on that. We'll get it off, fingers crossed, and then we'll sort it out. Oh, we're in! It's in. Still need to see if it works, mind you, but you know, we'll get there one step at a time and all that. So this is in. Now all we need to do is line it up. So it goes down through the channel. It should go easier than that. Why is it? Oh, I see, right. There, that's us. Right. So that goes, that needs to meet up with that piece of plastic. So this must go that way. Does it? No, it doesn't. It goes this way. So I'm now at the point where I need to locate the holes and marry everything back up, which is in here. That one, this one, and there's another one down there, which funnily enough is the only one which is actually married up. And it's the only one that I can't get to. I wonder if that plate moves at all in there. If you can see that. What a faff. Alrighty then, these were the 3 screws that came out that need to go back in. Oh, right, I've got one lined up. I can't get my hand in there. This is fidgety. This is really fidgety. Arg. No. Why do I have to be so fat? Can't get my fingers in. Right. Let's try a different method. An alternative plan here could be If I can't get my hand up here, we could try and do a premature window rolling uppery. I'd rather do that at the end because, you know, YouTube reasons. Now I'm going to need to move this up. Shall we see if it'll go up a bit? Let's give it a try. Right, will this work? Eee! Ah! Right, so it works. Right, I know that ruins the surprise of will it work, has this all gone through, but in order to get to these bolts I've got to do that. Right, so that's everything tightened down now, apart from the stops. Does anyone remember how these go in? Because I don't. That way round. There we go. Hopefully this will stop some rattling as well that's been going on. The good news is I don't actually need to know exactly where these sit because there is plenty dirty marks on the inside of the door that basically tell me the answer. There we go. One, I hope, repair the electric window. Let's see if she'll go right up and right down. Right, let's go down. Oh, and up. We fixed it! What an absolute faff! Still, now that's done, what I'm going to do now is get the door card reattached, and then I am going to go do the other side because I just want to lube that up. I'm not changing the mechanism because it still works. Then we'll take Scarlet for a drive and see if there are more annoying rattles have been removed from the car. Welcome back inside Scarlet. Now, yes, I've changed clothing and it no longer looks glorious outside. That's because it's another day, unfortunately, and well, as much as I would have liked to have finished the job in one day, got out, tested everything to see if it was all fine, you know, life, stuff, things, whatnot, all got in the way. So here we are regardless, a couple of days later now, and we're on a bit of road that normally it would be extremely bumpy and a bit wild, but unfortunately most of it's now been resurfaced, so it'll be hard to tell. But there's one specific rattle that was developed due to the snapped cable inside the door. You can't hear it now, everything just sounds normal. Yes, you've got the usual rattles that you get from a car of this age, but to be honest, fitting the Delrin bushings onto the back of the windows, they're holding a lot more stable in place. I've went over a couple of bumps there, and normally there would be a lot of rattles coming from this window, that window, on top of the already broken bits inside the door. So yeah, if you own one of these cars, you might not need to do your window regulator, but I would highly recommend doing the Delrin bushings that go inside the window frame. It makes a bit of a difference. Nothing's rattling. Go over a bump. Literally just drove the car right over that there. Nothing. Just the usual kind of bit of unsettled, and that's it. Everything's fine. So I would highly recommend doing that. Regulator wise, well, now we have a functioning passenger one which actually works again, which is good news. And to be honest, that was the main aim. But it's when you discover that actually, yes, that's needed to be done because something else broke. But sorted now, and I'm happy. Just though, if you have sat through this entire 40-minute marathon of a video, watch someone else. Because I've made a bit of a hash of this, I'll be honest. I should have read the instructions. I didn't realise that you didn't actually need to have similar mounting points. I thought, you know, you would be replacing like for like, but ultimately on this occasion that's not the case. It was basically just, well, you don't actually need to have it mounted in 6 different places. 2 bolts is more than sufficient, and it is, because it's in and it's working. So there you are. We've added a bit more lightness. Added lightness, that's an oxymoron. We've removed a little bit of weight. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll catch you on the next one. As always, if you are enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe by hitting the button down below just now and watching some other videos over there. It's now raining pretty heavily. I'm going home because I had to just get out and get this bit filmed. This is not a day to be out driving Scarlet. It's really not. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.